Sahara Conference, SLAC of Guinea, Conakry take on US Monastir, the tempestuous Tunisians who are looking to reach new heights. Our second game of the day sees Ferroviario de Beira of Mozambique take on Dakar University Club, the locals from Senegal. Let's focus on the opener, SLAC of Guinea upsetting Duke 85-70 here in Dakar, really shaking the baobab tree. Well, US Monastir, led by Majok James and his double fought off Beira 77-71 to take their first win. Two winners in action tonight, and two more by my side. Former South African international Quentin Denason is back in the hot seat. What's up, Q?
I'm so good today, Robbie. I'm looking forward to what is going to be a stellar clash. Two undefeated teams going up against it. Looking forward to it.
One winner. Let's have a look at the other. The other winner is, of course, our roving reporter, Usher Komuguchi, is courtside. Are you ready, Usher? You ready to rock?
It is a beautiful day. It's the International Women's Day, so you can imagine good vibes. There's a lot to celebrate for the women and the girls involved in basketball across Africa and across the world.
Yes, indeed. Happy Women's International Day. Very happy to be part of it. And of course, there's lots of projects that are taking place around the BAL-Africa League as we see a key player coming out here. I call him Magic Majok because that's exactly what he is. He was the MVP in US Monastir's opening clash. Solo Diabate, the Ivorian, not 100%, but starting to find a little bit of his rhythm. We got key players in this squad who are coming out. They're looking to try and make their mark. Michael Dixon, an American. Q, there's quality on this court today for this opener. Take a look at this starting five.
You mentioned it. Dixon Diabate Majok Leyani was one of the key players. I know he's not and recognized as an out-and-out star, but without him on the floor, US Monastir don't pick up that win at 77-71. And I like the combination. I love the fact that the bigs picked up the slack, for lack of a better word, in Majok and Leyani when Diabate struggled on the floor. So it's going to be interesting. I expect a better performance out of the guards in the backcourt of US Monastir.
Look at this man here, another major player in what should be a colossal showdown between two teams who've won their opening clash. A little less pressure on the shoulders, of course, having dealt with that opening battle that they managed to win. The starting five, well, it starts off with a certain Marcus Christopher Crawford, outstanding in the opening clash.
Him and Obekpa. I'm looking forward to seeing James and Obekpa go at it. Miller Jr. had another great game, 22 points for him. Ziakor slightly quiet, and Fofana fulfilling his role, assisting 6 times in that win that SLAC picked up over Duke in the opener. The teams match well on paper, Robbie, and it should be an enticing encounter.
And I think we need to mention, Usher, would you like to tell us a little bit about the officials?
Well, yes, there's 2 female referees on the court today. Joyce Mochenu from Zimbabwe and Mercy Williams, who's from the NBA G League, all the way from New Jersey, taking part here in the BAL for the very first time. For Joyce, she's been an international referee since 2008 and has been to so many FIBA Women's Afrobaskets in the last decade. And Mercy as well comes with a lot of experience being in the NBA G League for 3 years, and such an incredible human being as well. And they'll be on court with Arnold Mosea from South Africa.
Yeah, indeed. And the BAL is all about gender equality. And if you can do the job well enough, then you can get that position and you can do whatever you need to do, because that's what it's all about, Q.
It is, and it's a good time to mention BAL for her, which is the BAL's league commitment to promote gender equality amongst local stakeholders, and to develop pipelines and recruitment opportunities for women to participate across various BAL platforms.
Zeljko Zečević, now he's a former US Monastir coach, so he's coming up against a team that he knows very well, 2017 to 2018. In fact, he left, and Modrag Perisic took over for his first stints that lasted just 1 year. Now he's back, of course. So we've got 2 Serbian coaches at the helm of these 2 teams out here today. Modrag Perisic, a former Zamalek coach, Qatar national team, Egyptian national team. Both coaches doing extremely well in their opening clashes.
And both coaches are very, very knowledgeable in terms of African basketball, North African basketball in particular, and they'll try and impart their style and their winning mentality on their various clubs. It's going to be a clash of Serbian coaches on the bench. It's going to be a clash of the star-studded lineups on the floor, and it should be well matched up, competitive BAL basketball this afternoon. Looking forward to it.
We're only moments away from tip-off, and as you know, this is a very important battle because we'll basically define how you will fare in the rest of this Sahara Conference. 5 games each between the 6 teams, and still plenty of days of great frenetic basketball that's going to be taking place here at the Dakar Arena. Here we go then, it's time to get down to business, and it is the SLAC team who picked the ball up with Chris Crawford, 31-year-old American, spent some time playing with the Grizzlies, of course, and we know that he's a very dangerous player, showed it in that opening clash. Drive into the middle, ball comes out wide, the drive in, look at that, there's your first score of the game, and you mentioned Obekpa, he is just, well, hitting it hard right from the off.
Making a statement on the first play, Obekpa. One thing we must mention as well, there's 8 players with G League experience in the Sahara Conference. 4 of them on display right now on that SLAC roster.
US Monastir with Solo Diabate getting the ball out wide. It's a long-range shot coming in from Firas Layani. 2-time Tunisia, 3-time Tunisian champion, of course, with US Monastir. A nice little 3-pointer to put on the scoreboard.
He had 15 points in that opener, and that's a nice way to get started from the outside.
SLAC working their magic around the outside of the arc. The drop-in shot from the edge of the D hits the ring. Diabate takes it forward, goes for the drive. Oh, he's just smashed it up against the rim from underneath, unable to loop it back up and find the net. Monastir pushing forward, and SLAC lose possession. Majok is the man.
Tough matchup for Nziako. Majok is very tough to get by inside the paint.
Sliman Layani picks the ball up, nearly loses it, goes for that drive. He's so good at that, and he's very smooth in his operation when he's darting through.
He picks his moments, and that's another moment to get by the defense for the score.
Good chance for a 3-pointer, loads of space, unchallenged. Second bite at the apple, it comes in again off the rim, and another chance. Oh wow, a wild pass that comes back out, way out to Miller Jr. He'll try and go for 2 mid-range, and the rebound is good by that man, Layani.
It's like there's a lid on the rim right now for them. They're getting second and third chance opportunities, but just can't convert.
You know, SLAC played second fiddle to Dakar University Club in the first half of their opener. And of course, things changed and they turned around to the favor of Guinea-Conakry. That was the wonderful charge. Very aggressive there from the Nigerian Obekpa.
Statement made on the first play.
Layani. Majok trying to get the hold of the rebound, gets hold of the ball as he always does. Goes for a little bit of a spin, trying to get himself around Obekpa. Draws the foul.
That's going to be the key matchup. Controlling the glass, and this is Majok creating his own time and space. He goes right at Obekpa. Obekpa, a defensive player as well. He led the Turkish league in blocks in the year 2012, averaging 4 a game. So it's quite a while ago, but he still knows what he's doing on the defensive end, and we've got to look out for that matchup all afternoon.
Well, you talked about his blocks. He got 4 blocks in that opening encounter, of course, where they managed to win 77-71 against Beira. That in itself, and they were monster blocks, Q. They were monster blocks big time.
We have 2 great defensive players on display inside the paint.
Offensive foul, and that's not a good scenario, is it? They're the moments where you really have to try and get the points and just charging through.
Calling it a bit tight, just a little bit of a push-off.
On Dixon, yeah?
He'll pick up his first. Yeah, that's Dixon's first foul.
Layani to Slimane. Slimane up against the Nigerian Obekpa. Oh, he just feinting, trying to get the ball off the backboard. That's what he does so well. He's such an aggressive, very fine player, lots of experience. Wisdom is the word.
And a lot of strength. That physicality in the post to create the space, and then just does what he knows to do, all that rhythm off the glass for two.
Nice drive, nice little pass. The foul committed, and they'll have they'll get to the free throw line, I believe, here, SLAC, and a good chance for them to just reel in that lead that they've got. And as we say that, we'll just see the foul there. Usher, the atmosphere will start to build, I believe, with this double-header taking place for the first day of the second round of action.
Well, I'm just right here next to the Senegalese fans. They were taking a short break, but in a few minutes they'll be up on their feet and, you know, just giving us that good vibe that we've seen all tournament. And you can see that they're excited for this.
Well, as a miss from the free throw line, thank you, Usher. And 6:25 left on the clock in the first quarter, so everybody's just getting the lay of the land, understanding exactly how they're going to play against each other. And of course, US Monastir looking to hit back. They didn't play particularly well in their opening game against FIBA, who actually took the lead in the second quarter and went into the locker room with a lead. A great opportunity. Look at that. The nice pass to dunk has been done. Obekpa is leading the way.
That's such a great pass into space. Obekpa found himself without any defenders around him, and that's his second jam.
So US Monastir looking to try and better themselves. Last year's finalist, of course, lost to Zamalek in Kigali in the final showdown. As Slimane tries to drop it in, but rebound comfortably taken there by Crawford, who takes the ball quickly up court.
Talk about US Monastir. They struggled from the three-point line in that win. They were only 3 of 19 from the outside. That's 15%. They still managed to pick up a win.
Majok with a decent rebound. Ball comes down and Slimane picks the ball up. Tries to get past Obekpa. It's the easy little layup. It's beautifully done, isn't it? Using the backboard. Smooth stuff.
Fantastic use of the body and the backboard to get to all of that experience on display.
Layani with 5 points. Slimane with 4. Majok with a rebound.
Controlling the paint right now, Majok.
Now Slimane, his shooting wasn't particularly good. That was a round the back pass that didn't go to its destination. Majok, of course, great opportunity. And there's the foul. And the rebound not good, but they will obviously get themselves a chance to put a couple of shots in now following Layani's foul on that occasion. It's SLAC 5, US Monastir 10. And we're going to take a little break. Back with you in a couple of moments.
US Monastir 10, SLAC 5.
Back to the Dakar arena here in Senegal, and a chance for SLAC to try and reel in that 10-point lead that US Monastir have picked up. They need to get these points, missing a few points. We just had a little timeout. Usher, what was spoken amongst those guys in the corner? I'm talking about SLAC.
Well, yes, just listening in to the coach Zecevic, he's saying that they need to play holes into the US Monastir defense and try to get the ball to the basket using that baseline option. And let's see if the players will implement that on the court.
Q, would you do that?
I'd certainly get a lot more touches to my bigs, and they have found ways to draw fouls on these two players just early here.
Look at this. This is wonderful play. Very fast and furious basketball. And Firas Layani with dropping in for 2 there and to extend their lead to 6 points. It is fast and furious. When they get their passing sorted, they're so difficult to play against.
And Layani is really stepping up here in the first quarter. He's picking his moments, he's reading the defense well, and he's making them pay.
Oh, spillage there from Obekpa, but they managed to get the ball back, only to lose it once again.
Wow. That man Layani on the defensive end this time, jumping across. Might be worse for wear out of that, going to the ground hard, but gets up very quickly.
Yeah, I think it was his arm. He just slammed down a little bit. He fell on his wrist. It was like his wrist that turned a little bit on the right hand and then went down quite hard on the left.
There was also a little pull from Obekpa before
it was all going on.
Team 4.
He's fine. He's back in action. 6-12. SLAC trailing by 6. Monastir looking pretty strong here as they try and get the ball out wide. Here he is again. Liani. Well, good passing. Diabate with plenty of space. Comes back off the rim, and here we go again. SLAC trying to work the fast transition, and a chance to try and get the ball over the top. Dixon commits the foul, and well, they're gonna. It's Miller Jr. with the drive through, and he'll go to the free throw line.
In between the two defenders, Miller Jr. just trying to create some space, and then draws the foul, and he'll be happy to go back to the free throw line. SLAC did struggle from the free throw line in that first opening encounter. 8 of 19, 42%. That won't please them. They got to do a better job, especially in this encounter.
Yeah, just to give you a bit of an idea, Guinea-Conakry, for all of you who want to just understand exactly where we are. We're actually southeast of Senegal. So you've got the Gambia, which is right in the middle of Senegal. Then the other side, you got the towns of Ziguinchor and then Guinea-Bissau. Then the southeast, that's where you've got Guinea. And so they are actually neighbors. When Duke played against SLAC in the opening clash, they were neighbors. Here he is, that man, Majok, just dropping it in. Well, he just lasered it in, basically, didn't he? It smoothly just came off his fingertips.
That's the danger of Majok. 8 of 9 in the opening game, high percentage. And the other thing is that he cleans up the boards, went high for that rebound.
Yeah, very good tidying up. Oh, it's just opened up there for Diabate. Defense was just invisible on an occasion for SLAC. And once again, they just add more points at a moment where you just think they really need to tighten things up at the back.
Maybe some warning signs here for SLAC. US Monastir playing very concerned, very tempered basketball, patient, and it's looking good for them.
And I think there's a technical there that's been added on Chris Crawford. It's a Chris Crawford technical foul. Might get to see that in a second. In the meantime, you can see that, well, they're just coming up. Dixon's going to try and drop these in. Pretty good with the free throws in their opening clash, but
shot went up, and I think he was unhappy on the right side of the screen. They wanted the foul call. Looked like there was some contact. Referee's taking exception to the descent, and they're not going to take that technical foul call very quickly. Keep him in line.
Yeah, well, you don't want any nonsense taking place. You know, let's play ball. Let's just, you know, get on with it, right?
Get on with it.
Here we go. Chance for 3 is being dropped in from long distance, and that is more like it for Ziakor, the Nigerian, with a nice three-pointer. Really needed that. That came at a good time.
It really did. They were bordering on a double-digit lead, and that just gives them a chance for some momentum.
Oh, it's sumptuous, isn't it? You know, when Magic Majok starts to move his body like that, no one can get anywhere near him.
They fed him in the middle of the paint, and any big man loves that position. Majok just makes it look easy.
Good chance for 2 points. That's nicely done. And, you know, it's a 5-point lead now as Crawford just reduces the arrears to 5, which is great.
Both these teams starting to look comfortable now, getting into the emotions and the offense.
Comes out wide, Slim, and loads of time to try and drop it in. Look at that. It is beautifully done, isn't it? It's like just dropping in, you know, just a roller coaster, round and around. In she goes, beautifully done.
That was an excellent offensive possession for US Monastir. They got the execution that they wanted. SLAC are going to have to look at their defensive rotations, though.
Team 4.
Behind the back pass, Majok, the sky hook. That's what we call it for the easy 2.
Majok just taking a bit of a break here, just at the end of for the last couple of minutes of the first quarter. Another chance to try and get himself a little space. That's good. That's really strong play there from Ziakor. He really needs to stand up. He finished his move, drew the foul.
Very, very physical move in the paint. Ziakor, left and right, he goes to his offhand and gets the 2 and the contact. Maybe a case for the defense there, and the referee's just blowing ahead of time.
Mohamed Gayazi is the man who was at fault there, and once again just clawing themselves back into this encounter. 16-21 now.
I'm getting flashbacks of the game against Ferroviario de Beira when Majok was off the floor and they went on a scoring run. It's going to be an interesting period here for US Monastir.
They did indeed. Leani getting the ball out wide. Here he is, Gayazi. Sorry, it's Marnawi. Marnawi going for the long-distance shot. It's been picked up here. Good opportunity. Is Salio Mbai coming forward. Makes the ball available. Tries to get it out. It's a real wrestle. Oh, crikey. He's trying to jackal the ball on the ground in a big way there, isn't he? That man, Radwan Sliman.
Obekwa just couldn't hold on to the ball and going to ground. 41-year-old veteran showing you that hustle has no age.
Gets you excited. Why is that, Q?
I just like to see the veterans showing the youngsters how it's done.
You can get out on the court now if you want to. You know, get kitted up and get ready to rock. Nice little charge through into the paint. Goes down, and Leani's down on the ground. And this is what it's all. He's gone down a couple of times now. I hope he gets back up. He just needs to get his breath back, I think, Leani. But he's so physical. He's like a wily eel, the way that he just wriggles into the paint. But so strong as well.
Off the dribble, he goes by one defender. The hand comes out, and he just couldn't get that runner to go off the glass. But Leani is leading the scoring, and he's able to do that because the defense has got to go out to the other Monastir defenders. He's picking his moments, he likes his matchup, and he's taking advantage of it.
Usher, would you like to participate in our conversation? The atmosphere is good. There's a nice little battle taking place here. SLAC showing us that they're not going to be just, you know, one-shot wannabes coming into this competition. They won their opener. They want to get their second.
Well, that's the beauty about season 2 of the BAL. No team is a walkover. Every one of them is trying and get a place in the playoffs in Kigali, and you love to see it.
7 new teams out of the 12 that are taking part in the 2 conferences. Of course, we'll go to Cairo next month, but we're here in Dakar and loving every single second of it. Ball comes out, Marnawi! Oh, give me a little bit of help if you can. The man is there, Leani, doing the business.
He's having a stellar first quarter for us, Leani.
That's a beautiful, beautiful pass there. And how about that for a finish? Keita does the damage. Big, big score there for SLAC.
What a great pass again. What great ball movement. And that's not good news at all. Leani's gone to ground and he's looking like he's in pain. Basketball players, when they go down that hard, Robbie, and you see the grimace on the face, that's... You saw it happen up there. The dunk happened, but you could also see just to the bottom of the screen, Leani stepping on an ankle, and he went to ground hard.
He stepped on Sliman's foot, in fact, and that was the moment. And it's such... Most ankle injuries are caused like that in basketball. You know, when you're coming down from the sky, because obviously you're defending or you're jumping, you're off the ground, basically, unless your name's Majok. And, you know, he's come down. Your ankle pivots to the left and to the right. Believe you me, I mean, you know, it is not good news. Seems to be okay. Oh, that's the angle that obviously showed us just how bad it was. Listen, he's going out. He's going to get some... He's going to get some treatment, but at the moment, Leani needs to go and get that trainer off, and he's got a grimace on his face, which tells us that it's not great.
He might need to get that strapped, and then he might come back on the court.
Get some ice on it as quickly as possible. It is a 6-point game, and here he is. Diabate losing possession, a good opportunity here. They're going racing up. Crawford for 2. And that's a beautiful score. It's a 4-point game, and they're trying to get one back. Dixon here at the other end. The ball's taken out of his hands somehow. A little bit of magic.
What great defensive play there by Serena Mbai, the NBA Academy player, coming back on the defensive end, got a touch on it. Monastir were trying to steal a bucket just to close out the quarter. Crawford spins. Beautiful finish, almost pirouetting, ballet style to get the bucket.
20 points for SLAC, 24 for US Monastir. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. Usher's coming back. We'll be back. It's game on here in Dakar. Welcome back to the Dakar Arena. We're here in Senegal, West Africa, a wonderful country, full of culture, full of fantastic music, basketball, sport, absolutely everything. Usher, maybe you'd like to tell us about what's happening here, because really we've got some wonderful female officials within this competition. Not only coaches, absolutely everything. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Well, yes, it's absolutely wonderful. I've known Joyce Mushanu from Zimbabwe for about 5 years now, seen her be consistent in the way that she's officiating, and to see her here at the BAL is an absolute beauty. But also for Masi Williams, she's done incredible in the NBA G League. So, you know, you can see it by talking to her that she's having a great time, and that's what matters, you know, to inspire more girls and women across the world.
Crawford just saying, get out of there, you're not coming in.
And you remember,
it's my house.
That Crawford was playing for Monastir last year, so maybe a little bit more of a statement on that. That's my position too.
Yes, exactly that. It's, you know, look, I used to live in your house. I don't live there anymore. Get out of my house. Yeah, that's great stuff. Majok picking the ball up. Here they go again. Gayasi just around the outside. It's long range. It's long range. It's off the rim. Majok tries to get hold of it. He's a little bit frustrated. It's not going his way. And you can see that Obegpa gets possession. And the player from South Sudan, a little bit irate with that call. It was very close, though.
Close, and every time the players engage with the referees, one wonders how close or how far away they are from a technical foul being awarded.
Layani with 8 points so far. He seems to be, well, he was getting a little bit of treatment earlier on as the ball drops in for 2. And, well, they're doing some good stuff, aren't they, so far? SLAC, because look, they've reeled him into, what, 2 points now?
I spoke about the physicality of Slimane a little bit earlier, and Ziako doing a really great job of getting in there. Monastir of Dixon, Maroni, Majok, Kayasa, and Slimane on the floor.
Well, Majok has his attempt to try and just skyhook it in. Slapped away by Obegpa. Well, how about that for defense?
Second Obegpa block, and I did say there is a shot blocker. Majok denied.
Slimane, long range on the edge. Oh, the D! Dropped in beautifully there by the Tunisian.
Threes for trees. That's 3 more trees planted. The BAL Green Initiative takes flight here at the Dakar Arena.
Yeah, they want to plant as many trees that you go from west to east or east to west, whatever. Millions of trees, that's what we want. Loads of threes. Look at that. That is sumptuous stuff. I tell you, Christopher Obegpa is the man of the moment. He's the man of the moment. He is producing some fireworks out here tonight.
He is playing fantastic basketball on both ends of the floor. Has to be a little bit weary. Great drive in. Strong finish with the right hand.
Second team first.
He's got 2 personal fouls, Robbie, so he's got to be aware.
Layani coming back on, so he seems to be okay. Got to be aware. Gayazi is the player going off. But a lovely show of the ball before bringing it back around. You know, you've got to be smart out there, don't you? You can't just play simple basketball. Provide us with some tricks. I love tricks, Hugh, and I want everybody to see the tricks out there on the court here at this BAL.
Substitution into the game for US Monastir.
Adding to the already awesome entertainment factor that we get from the BAL-Africa League. These players are so skilled, and when they're on the floor, they're just able to help you escape and get entangled here in this competition.
It is a 2-point game, and SLAC very much, they're keeping US Monastir in arm's reach at the moment, and that is credit to what they are trying to do. They know that they've really got to work hard to play up against one of the best teams. And look at that, the ball's been taken away from here by Solo Diabate, and it will be SLAC who pick up possession. Good work from Serine Saliumbai.
It was also, the tap actually came from Obegpa and his long hands on the floor. He's not only getting the job done in the air, but also getting it done on the ground, and that's nice work there by him to force Diabate across that half-court line.
Solo Diabate. Solo Diabate, there he is. Just
the game for Solo Diabate is Michael Andre Dixon.
He's just being replaced there. But 3 fouls, massive Solo Diabate. So we're not even at 8 minutes left before the end of the half, and he's already got 3 fouls, which is not good.
Could be a very big factor.
Now, just when you actually look at the amount of time that he played in that opening clash, you basically got an idea of how, you know, the scenario is, how important he is to the team.
31 minutes in that game. He only scored 6 points, but what he does is that he plays distributor. He's a calming influence on this Monastir team, and it could be a very big factor. That's why I made that statement.
But Solo Diabate, he hasn't played since the 17th. Oh, Major! Oh! Put it in, put it in, put it in.
We saw so much of that in the opening encounter. Above the rim, Majok is a threat.
Look at the replay there, and he gets ahead of Begbar on that occasion. I was saying Solo Diabate hasn't played a match until he played that opening clash since the 17th of December. And that's a massive, massive time. That's nearly 3 months not playing one single game. Here they are, easy 2 for US Monastir. And I think we got a timeout with, what, 7 minutes left on the clock in the second. SLAC are going to have a little bit of a, well, brainstorm to try and find solutions.
Well, here's that fantastic aerial assault by Majok close to the rim. A two-handed slam. And highlight after highlight as far as Majok inside the paint.
And be sure to share your experiences from tonight's game.
Yeah, and as I was saying,
the BAL.
with a player who plays 30 minutes in his first game back in 3 months, and you know he's not 100% fit. He tore some quadricep muscle, so it's a little tear. So it's taken him time to come back in, and then all of a sudden he's like thrown into the slipstream, Hugh. And you know all about the slipstream. It's not easy at times.
Well, basketball can also be a numbers game. So he was averaging 10 points a game last year, and he was shooting it at 59% from the three-point line, which is fantastic. And that opening game only shot it at 30% from the field.
10 points for Radwan Sliman, 41 years of age. He's one of the leaders. Of course, this is his last three-pointer from just outside of the D. Downtown, gets the air. It is just sublime. It's very smooth. He's a great shooter, but he's a warrior as well. And you know, when you've got these Tunisian warriors who are out there and they're fighting for absolutely everything, they will fight to the bitter end. They didn't like it when they lost in last year's final against Zamalek.
And it's like he's getting better with age. He just continues to just impact on the floor. Almost timeless. He's our own version of what LeBron James is.
We traveled back, you know, we were at the airport when they were traveling back, the Tunisian, the US Monastir team last year. I didn't want to go anywhere near Sliman or any of those guys because they didn't give me the game face, you know, that was like inviting me to go and say hello. They were so disappointed, which is totally understandable. I'm only joking, of course, you know, they were really nice, but they were obviously deflated and disappointed because, you know, everybody had them down as the team who would go all the way.
It's the most difficult time to speak to any basketball player. I think give them a couple of days before you give them a call.
I think so, yeah. Or a couple of weeks, actually. Here they go. They're trying to find a little bit of way around past Dixon. The ball comes out. It's been picked up here by the man Begbar up against Layani. Layani's obviously had a little bit of a fall, a wobbly fall on that foot. He seems to be okay. That's an attempt to try and get the ball out. Oh, it's slapped away by Sliman. And will they get possession back? But Sliman was outrageously good there with the block.
That all brought about by, again, the presence of Adder Majok. Ziakor goes at the body of Majok because if he puts it up, it's going to get blocked in the air. Sliman comes across to help and then picks that up. 6-point game.
There you go, it's going all the way out. There's a good chance for two. Oh, it's just gone out. Ball chucked back to Majok. They'll get possession. SLAC, is it? It was too late to have made that call, right?
So that's a wasted possession, and I'm sure you can see the frustration there from Coach Miodrag Perisic. It's not a great possession, and especially the context of the game. It's a throwaway.
Oh, that's Crawford trying to get himself 3 points from downtown. Picks up comfortably here. Sikor back out to Crawford. Crawford around the outside. Using a few seconds left on the shot clock. Need to get your shot in, Begbar, he's under a lot of pressure. Foul has been committed. Begbar using the force. Ball going against him. It will be US Monastir who pick up possession.
He's literally pleading his case, and I think that time could have gotten it. It looked like there was no contact on the basketball and it was all up. The referees, though, called the shot clock violation, so please will fall on deaf ears.
Here is Dixon, Slimane, Majok, Obegpa's closely monitoring his actions. Oh, a little feint, and then finally goes up, drops in for 2. 33 points for US Monastir, 25 for SLAC.
I'm loving that one-on-one battle between Obegpa and Majok. It's something to just keep an eye on. 9 points for Majok.
Brings back some memories, Q, doesn't it? Those
My
battles.
favorite memories.
those little tussles, the one-on-one tussles. There's an attempt to try and drop in for 3 in Zirko. And at the other end, it's just a little bit too long. That's the second long-range pass. And Majok just, you know, saying, sorry, my mistake. Okay, but that's 2 mistakes in 2 plays.
Well, I suppose in the context of the game, it's forgivable because it's an 8-point game. But they would have liked to go up double digits and just give themselves a little bit more breathing room.
Mohamed Abbasi comes on, and a good chance for him to shine and show us what he's capable of doing. He's the 30-year-old, former player of Étoile Sportive de Radez. Well, Crawford, look at Crawford.
It's interesting because former teammates, Crawford has spent some time at Monastir. It looks like there's something that they've picked up on in terms of his ability to push off, because that's the second time we've seen him go for an offensive foul.
Yeah, and third foul is really not good for Chris Crawford. Really needs to be careful because, but on the other side, you've got Solo Diabate who's picked up 3 fouls as well. So they're cancelling. It's a game of chess. You always say it's a game of chess. I know. A little bit more physical than a game of chess. You know, you don't walk out with a twisted ankle and some sort of, you know, burning biceps or anything like that, do you? Look at this. The aerial bombardment! Majok is in the house. Oh, yeah.
When he is around the rim, not only does he clean up, he also cleans up in style. The block comes in, Majok there on the cleanup job, and that is another poster somewhere.
Usher, Majok and South Sudan basketball, it's something to talk about, isn't it?
It is, and he's had a couple of good years playing for Lebanon, where he just recently won the Arab Basketball Championship, leading them there as the best center. Very unfortunate by all standards that he's unable to play for South Sudan because
yeah.
at the time they didn't have a national team.
Yeah, and of course, Lul Deng, of course, knows all about South Sudan, of course, who's obviously an ambassador for the BAL-Africa League, who played his heavy presence in the build-up to BAL-1. Look at this for some wonderful play. Oh, my word! There was contact there, definitely on Chris Obegpa.
All coming from the pass and leaving Fofana no choice but to reach out and commit the foul, and that was a hard foul, and they say if you're going to give up the foul, make sure that they go and earn it from the free throw line. Don't give up 2 points, and you'll give up the bucket and the foul. That's what I'm trying to say.
Honestly, I work telepathy with you, Q, so I know exactly what you're saying all the time without you even saying it. But we still need you to talk.
I'm going to keep on trying. That's the most important thing. 11-point game.
Good man, good man. Doing a great job, Q.
It's so important.
7 points for Obegpa. 25-36, that's a big lead, that is, with just under 5 to go for US Monastir. Thank you, Usher, for that previous participation. Regarding Majok, the ball comes back out, it's been tidied up, nicely done. Serene Saliombai doing the business, comes out wide, good opportunity to drop in for 3, off the rim, back into the hands of Majok. Straight down the middle, great opportunity, get rid of your defender and drop it in. It's exactly what you should be doing. Usama Manawi.
This game just in danger of running away from SLAC as US Monastir go on a tear.
Manawi, 22-year-old, getting the final points there before the break that we're going to take right now. We'll come back in a couple of moments' time. 4 minutes and 8 left for the first half. So I think that SLAC trailing by 13 points now. SLAC from Guinea-Conakry, just southeast of Senegal, up against US Monastir, North Africans, of course, Tunisia, just on the banks of the Mediterranean. Wonderful country in itself, of course. As if you don't know it, definitely worth visiting. Great culture, wonderful resorts there as well, and a little bit of frustration as they push forward here and SLAC unable to get themselves what they want, which is basically points, because they're missing out on opportunities to score, aren't they, Q?
They are missing a couple of opportunities, but what they're doing is drawing fouls, and that's going to help them stop the clock and get themselves to the free throw line where they can make inroads into the score.
Pass wasn't perfect. There's a good chance for a shot coming in from out wide. Well, it was a little bit too short. Not good enough there from Fafana.
Great defensive possession for US Monastir.
Coming into the game for SLAC.
Yeah, I'm saying not good enough. Of course, he was trying to produce the goods, but it was all about the defensive play from US Monastir, because they're clamping things down and cutting them out. They knew that the shot clock was going down, and they just basically cornered him.
They're playing some really great basketball here.
Manawi Majok gets the ball out, back off the ring, and it tries to go in. It's a little trickle. Majok trying to get his hands on the ball. He's still fighting for it on the ground. Look at that. Wonderful battle taking place there. And all credit for Majok. You look at Sleeman racing out of his seat to make sure that, you know, the main man is getting plenty of credit.
Majok just lost it on the way up and couldn't control it. There was a scramble for the basketball, and both players, you see the desire, you see the hunger, and there's no love lost between either team.
Yeah, Miller Jr. finally got the gets possession. They're taking the ball forward as Serin Salio Mbai. Trying to get rid of his man. He is the 18-year-old from the NBA Academy, of course, getting lots of game time here, which is great news, making himself available. All of the players come from the NBA Academy. Each team has one, and they're all 18, getting a chance to shine here on the big stage. Dixon racing up forward. Former Missouri Tigers player, played in Athens, played all the way around Europe.
Some very experienced professionals on display in this Basketball Africa League.
Here is Dixon getting the ball out. Manawi. Lots of credit. The bench erupts for US Monastir, and now they've got a healthy lead here with 2:20 left on the clock. 13-point advantage is now 16.
They've managed to hold SLAC to 5 points in this quarter, and that's just all. Work on the defensive end, another steal, well, almost steal, and continuing to emphasize just how great this US Monastir, or how tough this US Monastir defense is to break down.
Yeah, they tightened things up quite a lot, I think, since their opening encounter. I think Modreg Perisic has most definitely said, you guys, you know, if we want to play like we did in the final quarter against Beira, where we managed to keep them at arm's distance and really take hold of the game, finger on the pulse of the action, then we got to tighten things up. They've tightened things up a little bit better, looking a bit more the way that we expected them to be.
We spoke about it, that great word, momentum, and it's important to close out games well.
Momentum and confidence. Manawi! Oh. That is just outstanding from Dixon, of course. Michael Dixon, the man of the moment, just dropping it in. Perfect score there, 3 points. Look at this. This is starting to... It doesn't look good on the scoreboards, but it doesn't mean that they're not playing great basketball. They're just not hitting their range.
They continue to struggle from the outside. Another miss from the three-point line.
2 players in double figures for US Monastir already. We've got Majok on 12, we've got Sliman on 10, and there's not one single player for SLAC into double figures just yet. We just got 9 for Zioko.
Well, SLAC are 1 of 7 from the three-point line, which is 12% right now, and if it doesn't work from the perimeter, then you've got to change up your strategy just a little bit. But they've tried inside out, they've tried outside in, and they're looking a little bit lost at sea without their lead point guard, Crawford, on the floor.
John Bamara, Alpha Kaba, they brought on some of the Guinean players, talented players from Guinea. Long-range effort coming in, just a little bit too short off the rim there from Miller Jr. Dixon picks the ball up. Abassi's out wide, comes off the foot.
Big ball stays here.
Score sheet does not make pretty reading for SLAC at this point. Miller Jr. has been held to just 3 points.
Number 11,
Lower 3 shooting. Ziakor with his 9 points, and it's Obekpa with 7, but nothing else in terms of production.
Mahemli's getting a little bit of time on the court now, having come on to replace Dixon. Good stint for Dixon in the second quarter. Well, that was very slick maneuver there by Abassi, but he just loses possession, so SLAC will get it back, and they'll want to try and turn this phase of play into points, because they're just not getting points on the scoreboard. It's been a long time since they managed to get themselves points.
A long scoring drought indeed.
And again, the range is off. And, you know, when the confidence is not there, everything starts to go a little bit slack, unfortunately. On this occasion, that's what it is.
Ziakor was attacking the rim earlier in the game, now settling for the jump shot. They've got to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, ball comes out wide. They got a chance to go for 3. Long range aerial bombardment there, coming back off the metal. Another chance, but oh, that's kept in. That's beautifully kept in. High ball over the chop. And the foot goes over the line, I'm afraid, from Miller Jr. just at a time where we thought things were going to, well, happen so fast with a quick transition.
Well, I think if you were to sum up the court for SLAC, it was that specific play. You know, they did everything to keep the ball alive, but Miller Jr. just couldn't stay in, and they turned the ball over.
Long-range shot coming in off the backboard, and we reach the end of the first half, and the lead, well, it's pretty big. It's a 19-point lead for US Monastir. Last year's losing finalists, well, they've got a healthy lead now, the Tunisians, over SLAC of Guinea-Conakry. It's 25 for SLAC, 44 for US Monastir. Majok with 12 points. And, well, there's a lot of talking to be done in the locker room. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes' time. We'll analyse. We're going to analyse. Stay with us. Well, just a minute away from tip-off, and we're about to get down to business. SLAC 25, US Monastir 44. We just got enough time to talk with Usher about the amazing hospitality of Senegal, this wonderful African nation, the food, the music, the culture, absolutely everything. It's
well,
amazing.
as you know, I'm Senegalese. My Senegalese name is Fatma Diop. I hope you can pronounce that, Robbie.
Fatma Diop?
Yes, Diop. Right
Diop.
there, Diop. And Diop is a name for legends in this country, and I've been baptized
That's rather
already.
rapt, isn't it? Go on, go on. Carry on.
Well, no, I mean, look, you know, we spent here a couple of days eating chebjen, which is one of the traditional foods here in Senegal. It's really a country of color, because this is like brown rice and, you know, with carrots and all the fish and chicken. So the color is represented right there, even when you see the fans in their many colors with dominantly, obviously, you have the yellow, you have the green and the red, and even the Dakar arena, the seats have these colors. So it's just good to be here, to have people smiling and really enjoying the game.
And the football or the soccer team, they're called the Lions of Teranga. Teranga means hospitality. Hospitality being a key word, but it's a lot deeper than just being, you know, open arms, come on in. No, it's about sharing absolutely everything with everybody.
And it's
everything.
interesting you say
come and
that.
live with me. Oh, it's okay. You know, I mean, you know, just stay around for a couple of years.
It's interesting you say that, because Paco, the lead fan for the Teranga Lion fans, just told me you need to come over to my house and let's share lunch. So if you're nice,
Hospitality
for the rest of the day, I could invite you as well.
Okay. I'm good for that. We're good to go. There he is. There's Paco. There's the man. There he is.
There is
the man.
Paco. There is Paco.
Paco in the house. Look what he's got. Look, I mean, that is not hot when it goes on his head. I promise you that. You know, I mean. Yeah,
It's really interesting.
that is just brilliant, isn't it? A true lion of Teranga. Merbe is the word that means welcome, by the way, in Wolof. Just to say merbe to everybody here in Dakar. And for all of you who are watching around the world, wherever you are, we love you guys because you're tuning into the BAL. Here we go. Slimane takes the ball into the paint. Look at that for a little bit of skullduggery. Snatches the ball out of his hands, Obekpa, but Dixon gets it back. Q, what's going on?
They really needed to convert on that turnover, and they handed right back to US Monastir. Momentum and execution, crucial.
But this time, it goes into the hands of SLAC.
Crawford gonna have a big role to play. Hopefully he can stay on the floor.
So important. Obekpa.
Crawford, Obekpa, Miller Jr., and Ziako and Fofana are on the floor for SLAC.
Starting 5, the ball comes off the corner of the rim backboard, not a good shot, and you know, it's not been good, is it? Their shooting has not been good at all. The percentage is low! Oh, he came through, he was masterful, driving through the paint, slamming it in. Firas Layani, outrageous.
We got a statement dunk at the start of this game from SLAC, and that's a statement dunk, I think, from Layani and US Monastir.
Got to get points back. SLAC now trailing by 21. Crawford gets the ball out. There's a good chance for Fofana dropping it in. That's a beautiful score. That really is. Miller Jr., I'm sorry, dropping it in, and that's important, very important. It's the first score in such a long time.
Finally breaks that scoring run and gives SLAC just a little bit of hope.
They've been on 25 for such a long time. Sliman, Layani. Well, he's committed the foul, Miller Jr., I'm afraid.
Well, that scoring run was a 20-point scoring run, and finally brought to an end.
Yeah, but that's just outrageous, you know. It's just not good enough. Look at that. He flies away, doesn't he? He's always got that strange angle where he's taking away and he's keeping it protected before it comes back in and snaps like a giant Nile crocodile.
It almost looked relaxed until your expression captures it perfectly.
In it goes! Dropped in for 3 there by Dixon. And again, they just hit back comfortably, calmly, collectively.
Stunning first-half performance by US Monastir.
Obekpa back out to Crawford. Crawford trying to find some kind of a way through. That's not bad. Just the full-back drop in for 2. It's nicely done. They get 30 points. Must be good to get away of those, to get out of the 20s.
That's why they need him on the floor. He gives them the multiple scoring option, and he creates.
Diabate, the Ivorian, showing off his shooting range from right downtown.
Well, the 2 guys who are on 3 fouls in terms of Diabate and Crawford now setting the scoring alight for their respective teams.
And he steals the ball. They go chasing and racing up court. He drops in another one. Oh, my word.
Go ahead,
now
Diabate.
he's playing a lot better than he was in the first game. The force and the strength just not good enough on that occasion for Ziako.
Nice defensive work by Layani, just forcing the miss.
Dixon, Yanni. Oh, they get the ball back, and it's Dayad. Well, he's working really hard. Crawford into the middle, nicely done. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. If he can do something with this, Sliman's there. Miller Jr. can't, Ziako can't get it into the back of the net. Listen, it's 30-53, draws the foul though.
The referee's just conferring, and I think they will call the foul. The conference was just to ensure that there was no travel before that, and what actually happened first. Ziako leaning in, and that's really strong defensive work by both defenders. Nothing easy, and they call it on the ground, so it won't be 2 shots.
But Sliman does get the... Is he picked up the foul?
I think they awarded it to Layani.
It's a good ball out wide, and the better. Once again, the range is not working for them, and that time it's Miller Jr. unable to drain those 3 points.
This game's certainly not over. They can segment it in a way where they can get within 15. It'll give them just a line of sight where they might be able to attack in the 4th, but they've got to get a couple of scores and a couple of defensive stops.
They'll get possession back, SLAC.
Again, just confirmation that, and confusion in terms of whether there's a shot clock violation or a change of possession. The ball passed by Fofana, and that touch by
Gayazi
is where the interpretation comes in.
Right, absolutely.
Yes, actually just looking at the South African referee Arnold Mosea talking to Massey Williams, the American referee. They're saying it's a shot clock violation.
Okay, thanks, Asha.
This is where we consult the rule book and find out exactly what the definition of possession is. And the referees interpretation, as we continue to wait, looks like it might be SLAC basketball. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, it is going back and forth. They're still not dealt with. So they're looking on the screen, looking at that that replay to understand exactly what happened. And if it's a time issue or whether or not it's Gayazi who knocked the ball out. And it looks like SLAC's going to get possession. They do.
0.6 seconds left. And there comes a foul, which is going to reset everything altogether.
Yeah.
That actually helped SLAC quite a lot.
Yeah, Gayazi just coming in like a bulldozer. Who, me? I didn't do anything. It was not me.
Sometimes being a great salesman and the ability to act is also great and useful on the basketball court.
Oh, really?
It really is.
Used all the time, isn't it, Q? Ball coming out. An attempt. Oh, it's dropped in. Look at that. That is sumptuous, isn't it? He didn't even know that it actually went in, I think, Chris Bekpa. It was a blind over the top layup.
That's the first time we've seen some chemistry from SLAC in this game, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, we need that. We need SLAC to hit back. We need them to start sort of, just giving US Monastir a little bit of pressure. Dixon drops it in, comes back off the rim, taken well. Good rebound by Obegpa. The charge coming through. That's nicely done. Oh, the battle there in the paint. Finally, Slimane gets it out. Diabate drops it in. Oh, look at this. Dixon. Oh, no, he's missed it.
It was all good until the shot. They created an open jump shot, just could not finish it.
This is a little bit like the Wild West, isn't it? Wild West Africa at the moment regarding what's going on. It's going from one end to the other. There's the long ball that's been thrown up. There's some wild stuff on the rebounds. SLAC needs to just make sure that they tighten things up and make sure they get those points, hold the ball. The rebounds are going well, but the offensive game needs to become a little bit more meticulously conducted.
Using your analogy, it's just a little bit unchoreographed dancing.
Nicely done, beautifully done by that man, Gayazi. And once again, you can see that the lead, well, it's 23, long downtown shot there coming from Crawford. The attempt for the rebound, done beautifully there by Nziko, the Nigerian doing the business there. Played in the NBA G League, of course, and a former player of the Memphis Hustlers.
So what's happening now is that they're playing even and back and forth they go, but what SLAC really need is...
Slimane penalized there for the offensive play, sorry.
A couple of defensive possessions
there
like that.
Yeah,
the ability to turn the ball over.
I think we're going to take a little break. What do you think, Q?
I think we should.
Usher, should we come back with you afterwards?
Yes, sir.
Okay, little break. SLAC 34, US Monastir 55. Don't go away. 4:14 left on the clock in the third. Back to the Dakar Arena, Senegal. Radwan Slimane, 10 points into double figures, a block and 3 assists. SLAC 34, US Monastir 55. Both teams that won their opening games on the first in the first round, of course. Match day 1, if you like, with the opening clash with SLAC beating Dakar University Club, US Monastir beating Ferroviario de Beira of Mozambique. But at the moment, SLAC, they are playing second fiddle. They're playing assistant drummer at the moment, and they need to get back and get a good rhythm going.
They have to find ways to try and stop this US Monastir offense, but they're playing a lot better today, US Monastir. They're able to get scoring from just about everybody on the floor. They have 3 players in double figures. Majok with 12, Layani with 10, and Slimane with 10.
Diabate's long ranger coming back off the metal. Crawford fouled as he tries to just drop it up there. Now, this is foul number 4 for Solo Diabate, which is obviously a little bit concerning because he's obviously going to go to the bench. A player who played so much time, you said, what, 29 minutes, right?
I said, yeah, 31 minutes.
31 minutes for Solo Diabate.
And now he's in a bit of foul trouble. It will be interesting to see what Coach Persic does with this one. And I think more than likely he might just let him run out. It doesn't look like he's making any moves to get any players in there at this point. It's a lot easier, I think, for a veteran point guard to maintain and stay on the floor than it is for a big who's always in contact.
Yeah, and of course they've got a bit of bulk on the bench as well, even the US Monastir to bring on in different positions, so they're not too concerned, especially with this healthy lead. So Diabate stays on, the Ivorian, who was one of the standout players in the final against Zamalek last year in Kigali, of course, in the first season. Long-range shot coming in. Oh, it's a little bit of an air ball. It comes back over, and it's dropped down, and, well, it's tidied up. The rebound's good, picked up there by Saliou Mbaye.
I tell you what, a couple of scores and just a little bit of initiative from SLAC, and we still have a game. 20 points is not insurmountable. Well, 19 points.
That was the little slip there from Saliou Mbaye of the NBA Academy.
US Monastir in foul trouble, and it's going to send Rwanda to the to the free throw line. And he's had a lot of minutes because of the foul trouble, and he hasn't played too badly at all. He's been conservative in his decision making, but you can see his teammates are starting to build a trust around the way that he's playing, and is giving them good impact and effort on the defensive end.
That's fantastic. First points for the 18-year-old from the NBA Academy, which is great to see. And like Boubacar Sané for Dakar University Club, he'll be looking to excel in the second clash of the day. Of course, they'll come up against Beira. That match will tip off at 9 p.m. We're going to also talk to Usher. The NBA Academy, the Elevate players, I mean, it's such a great project, isn't it?
It is indeed a great project. You know, when you're a young kid and you're a teenager, you're trying to get, you know, your life going and understand how to build your basketball career, but to be up close to a professional league like the BAL and be part of the teams and listen to these, you know, very experienced players from across the world, it is something that they'll live to remember. And I've spoken to some of them, and they love the experience. They're just waiting for that one moment when they get onto the court, when they're trusted, and it will help them grow.
Christopher Obegba, perseverance pays off. That was a beautiful piece of play because there was a player, there was a wingman every single play.
Well, this is just hustle and heart, and nobody there on the US Monastir side. An easy finish, 11 points for Obegba. What it has done is brought the game within 15, Robbie. It's almost time to say the words game on.
Game on, we love it. Game on, rock on. Timeout, US Monastir, of course, and it will give them the chance to just have a little bit of a chat now to sort things out. Madrak will logically come on at one point, but Solo Diabate, he's going to be playing his last few minutes, I imagine, if he plays in the same way that he's been playing, because, you know, it's his natural way of playing that will attract, that'll make him play aggressively and commit the foul.
I think it's dangerous time right now for US Monastir. Crawford has done a good job since being back on the floor, just trying to seize back some of that initiative that is taken away from him. He's made good decisions, he's been able to score a couple of points, and you start to see the value of a guard that can structure the offense and then move the basketball. 11 points and 6 rebounds, and it's good. It's a good outing for him so far.
Yeah, but we did single him out as one player who could most definitely make a big impact in this game. You know, even before the game tipped off, they got a chance to drop in for 3. It's a long-range effort. Diabate has the ball snatched away And that's a really good turnover, that is, for SLAC.
He had 5 players around him and still opted to go for the shot attempt, but sent away.
Oh, a wild pass there from Zirko, trying to find his man, but he wasn't anywhere to be seen. There's a good chance for them to drop it in, as we see Majok back in position, drawing a foul as he does every single time. The foul committed there, I think, by Miller Jr.
Important offensive possession for US Monastir. They've got to try and get a score, and that's not a bad foul. Again, in the context of the game, sends them to the baseline, or rather to the sideline, and now they've got a score in open play.
Yeah, but Miller Jr.'s only got 2 fouls from that so far, so he's in a pretty safe place. Ball comes out, Solo Diabate, long range once again! Drops it in! Sumptuous play. I tell you, he's getting back to his fine form. What we expect from that man, well, is basically on show now. That's a fantastic score, and that puts him up to, what, 9 points?
It was a good read for sure. Diabate into rhythm on that jump shot.
Well, it's just a feeble attempt of trying to get the ball in the back of the net. A half-hearted skyhook, if you like.
Poor decision-making by the young man, and I think that might see him go to the bench as we see players readying himself on the sideline.
Diabate, oh, that's lovely. Really nice pass to Abassi, who just came in at the right time.
So since that timeout, Robbie, US Monastir sees back 4 points, and we're back to a 19-point game.
Oh, look at that, Majok doing the business, the block. It was just too easy for him, wasn't it?
A terror in the paint. You can't go in there and not be aware of that man. Atar Majok gets by one defender, but can't get by the shot blocker.
Yeah, but the power of that block is so hard that he basically frowns, you know?
You need to get a shot blocker in the air. Just keep him out of the paint.
Well, you got hands the size of spades, for crying out loud, you know? It's like, get down, away from you. 40-59, Dixon. Trying to hustle his way past his man, Majok. Just creeping inside of the D. That's a wild pass. I don't know if that was the right idea. He does so well, Layani, watching out where he's actually falling. Majok with another wild pass. This is the second wild throw up court that goes nowhere.
He hasn't done a great job of those long balls up the court. And you can see the conversation between Layani and Majok, but with 0.2 seconds left, there really isn't much that SLAC will be able to do with this possession, the final possession of this third quarter.
Yeah, it's all done and dusted, isn't it? The third quarter comes to a close, and SLAC showing promising signs of recovery, but it's US Monastir who just still do the business and just keep them away just as they start to reel them back in. SLAC 40, US Monastir 59. We'll take a break. Fourth quarter coming up in a few moments' time. We are just moments away from the final quarter. Majok, well, there he is, just having a little bit of a chat, looking very calm and collected, you know, enjoying his times here, big smile on the face. He's a happy man. He's looking good. He's racked up 12 points. It's not a very high-scoring game, but I mean, it is for US Monastir, I suppose, going into the fourth quarter queue. But SLAC, I mean, their percentages are down big time.
You talk about their percentages, the stats speak to it. 31% they are from the field. They have not done a great job sharing the basketball. You look at the disparity in that 6-19 in terms of assists, and then not being able to knock the ball down from downtown, 2 of 13 versus the 6 of 21 from US Monastir. You can credit the defense according to the stats.
Oh, that's a very fine start, though, isn't it, for Crawford? You know, we talk about knocking them down. He's just knocked down 2. They got 42, and they already start the quest to try and reel in US Monastir. The Tunisians, just of North Africa, on the banks of the beautiful Mediterranean Sea. To the west, they've got Algeria. To the east, they've got Libya. If ever you go there, Monastir, in fact, is south of Tunis and the capital on the seaside. Beautiful part of the world. Here they go. Oh, there's a wild pass out wide from Alpha Kappa.
I have a question. Were you ever a geography teacher?
Geography teacher?
Yeah.
I love geography. Ever since I was very young, I was studying books on National Geographics. That's basically where I came from. Anyway, it's all about the flora and the fauna, Q, and where it all comes from. But no, I've never taught geography.
Because your descriptions are so fantastic.
It's important to tell people about where we are and where these great players are coming from, and just put it on the map so that they've got a good idea. Maybe a lot of people know already, but it's still good to just fill in the little gaps.
It's all really adding to this amazing continent that we have and the amazing possible Africa League. Layani misses on that one.
Bekpa picks the ball up, Crawford. Now let's see what synergy they can create inside the D. It's a beautiful knockdown at 2. 44 points to 61. Will we see a comeback here from SLAC? Can they just retaliate? They managed to hit back against Duke in their opening game, of course, in the third and the fourth quarters, showing us what they're capable of doing, walking away with their first victory in their first ever BAL. But they're up against Majok and co, and it's not easy. They clamp him out on an occasion. Diabate out wide for Mawani. Well, that is just fantastic from Manawi.
Shots like that will keep them at bay. They played even in the third quarter. It was 15 points apiece, and that's all they have to do. Play even, and the game will be theirs.
And that is a fantastic shot as well. Dropped in there by Crawford, who's really reacting. He needs to come on strong and be a true leader on the court now, doesn't he, Q?
15 points now for Crawford after that poor showing in the first half. He's definitely come alive in the second.
And it's interesting you say that the coach Zečević just told the players, if anyone has a hot hand, keep feeding him the ball, and they're doing just that.
That's really nice play as well. Once again, Usama Manawi doing the damage there, coming in from the cold.
They can hurt you in so many ways, Monastir. Manawi with 10 points now, the fourth player into double digits for US Monastir.
Yeah, and he's a bench player as well, so there's a lot of points that have come from nowhere there as he goes on a little bit of a run once again, gets the ball out to Diabate. No, little fake, back out to Dixon, slowing things down. Here's the Ivorian in the middle, look at that. Wonderful run there from Layani, unable to get the points, but he does draw the foul.
He gets rewarded for his activity and his energy. He's been locked in since the start of the game and goes up against the shot blocker, doesn't get the dunk, but does get the foul.
He was just a millisecond off, wasn't he, Bekpa, on that occasion? Otherwise, he would have done what he's done before. Should we take a break?
I think we should.
All right, let's take a break. Well, here he is, Firas Layani, 12 points in the bag so far. And just ushering, sorry to use your name, Usher, ushering US Monastir into a very healthy lead here, because he's been a true game player out here today. Very strong performance. There you can see, 1 from 4 free throws. He'll probably change that now. The assists and the way that he's making himself available in the paint, just taking the passes, the strength of the guy, outrageous. And he had that little injury at the start.
And he just had a fantastic game throughout. First quarter, he set the tone really for US Monastir on the offensive end.
Bekpa! Well, the reaction shot there. One arm, slamming it in. Sensational stuff there from the Nigerian.
It almost looked like he lost the ball, but still managed to control it enough to dunk the basketball. Great offensive play.
49-67, 18 points, 6:58 left on the clock. Here is Dixon. Dixon out wide. Liani out wide to Manawi. It's another three-pointer. Honestly, I think he's been taking lessons watching Slimana. We haven't seen on court for quite a while, have we?
They haven't needed Slimana on court, and it's a chance to run your bench and get some other guys an opportunity on the floor.
They're cloning those three-point shooters. Oh, look at that, finally. Well, he seems to be okay, the youngster Alpha Kaba, but you can see what Majok produces, but the foul was committed already.
And that's also just a statement block. It doesn't matter that the foul is committed, but if you come inside the paint, there's no easy pockets, and the emphasis with that left-hand block.
But his discipline has been pretty good today. He picks up a couple of early fouls in the opening clash against Beira here tonight. He's got one foul against him, which has now turned to 2, but it's very late on in the game. So a very comfortable and collected performance there from the giant player from South Sudan, stroke Lebanon.
Showed us all of his pedigree and his class, and it gave us a little bit more insight because he gave us an offensive showing in the first game. This game has also imposed himself on the defensive end, steals, blocks, and just really highly active.
Drops it in for that extra point there. Zeljko Zečević knows that they've got a little bit of work to do to secure qualification for Kigali. 4 of the 6 teams from each conference qualify for Kigali, which are the quarterfinals, if you like. Traveling call against Majok.
I wouldn't want to be a referee when that happens. But you can feel the frustration from Majok on that call.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy, you know. He's a good, decent bloke. We spoke to him after that first victory against Beira. Really nice, very committed, very passionate about basketball, passionate about, you know, dealing and producing the goods and scoring underneath the basket. But on that occasion, they kept him out. Long range from Marnawi. Gets another chance. And lots of time now on the clock. Diabite. Majok takes out the defender. The pass just runs right through the middle. 20-point game.
We spoke about him being a nice guy, but on-court personality does not match. That does not matter. I mean, does not match off-court personality ever. And on the floor, I can tell you, he's a monster and a competitor and someone you don't want to come up against unless you are as well.
Yeah, but you know, Majok is the nicest guy in the world off the court. You know, I mean, monster on the court, but forget about him. You know, when you chat to him off court, he's just a great guy.
He is, and it's
the two faces of Majok. You were the same. You were the same.
That's absolutely how it should be.
It's the competitiveness and, you know, the aggressiveness that you bring to your A game when you're on a sports field, of course. Usher, we're going to get some rhythm and some rhyme coming from these Senegalese fans right now. It's leading into what should be a wonderful, wonderful competition and a wonderful day. DJ's here, and yeah, we're in a good place.
Absolutely, we are in a good place. I already promised you that I'll be part of the fan group, so I'll do that in the second game today.
Can you get on the talking drum, please? Please, Asha. Just want to see you on the talking drum.
Yes, well, you know, talking to some of the fans, they're very excited about the game that is coming up, you know, with the Dakar University Club, that they're here to celebrate, and they're in good rhythm so far, just getting ready for that big show and hoping that the home team can get their first victory here inside the Dakar Arena for the season 2.
Yeah, I hope you got the moves and the grooves just like those guys up there, because they're having an absolute blast. We love it here. And this is the BAL-Africa League that we're loving as well. 50-70, a little bit of a gap here, but it doesn't really matter. You can still clamber back. Nothing's done. Nothing's set in stone just yet. 5:30 left on the clock. And, well, it's a no-point play there from US Monastir as the ball comes out to Abegbar. Tightly marks. Crawford tries to drop it in, and it's just come off the metal, picked up and taken out by the man who's replaced, I think, Diabite, of course. It's Bohemli. Sliman's on as well. Biding his time, biding his time. Oh, there's the... It is going to be a foul, I think, for Miller Jr. Miller Jr. on his 3rd foul.
He's a tough cover and a tough matchup for any player in the post. So vastly experienced, and yet maybe a case for a little elbow from Miller Jr. But the referee saw the infringement just straight after, so Sliman will go to that free throw line. He spent some time in Portugal, Saudi Arabia, as well as the UAE, and has this experience. Radwan Sliman, but more known for his role on the national team, and the longevity of the man has just been amazing.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Q. And I just want to mention Miller Jr. spent a bit of time in Iceland
Tell me more about that.
We haven't got time, but he played in Iceland. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 50.71. SLAC, whenever they try and they show moments where you just think they're going to come back a little bit more, and then of course US Monastir has clamped them out. They're playing a very smart game, in fact, US Monastir, because they do have many options, and they're just playing like a very seasoned group of players who know how they play together, and it's good, it's working well.
They're creating the mismatches and the matchups that they want, both on the offensive and defensive end. They're not allowing SLAC to find the weaknesses where either Miller Jr. or Begba and Ziakor can take advantage. When Crawford was on, he gave them that advantage, but because he got off so early in that first half, the score ballooned to a point where they just couldn't bring it back. And now the emphasis really for SLAC is to see if they can close out the game and just bring that scoring margin in just a bit.
I got hypnotized by the jumbies up there for a second. I was listening to you, Q, I promise you. Here we go. Here is Sliman getting the ball out wide. It's exactly that. Mahemli with the ball, taking it down court. Oh, there's a little bit of a steal there taking place, and it is a nice piece of play indeed there from Miller Jr., who's just shone, and he's just really produced something quite cool that will lift their spirits a bit. It's still a 20-point, and there's a traveling call. That's a big call, isn't it, for Rasil?
These small little errors will just help make that gap a little bit less.
Crawford comes off the medal and is picked up by Marnawi. Rasil. Marnawi. The ball out wide to Mahemli.
Second traveling violation in a row, and that is going to make that bench and Coach Perisic really just irate at the carelessness of the turnover.
It's nicely done, Obegba, just in the paint, going on a little bit of a roll, can't do anything there, but it's gone up and it's not gone in. He's working so hard, isn't he, Obegba? Trying to go himself. In the middle, and taken through there, but Crawford can't get it around and down, unfortunately. At the other end, it's a little bit about Sliman, blind pass onto the edge, and it's a three-point attempt that comes to nothing. Tidied up at the back, nicely done by Sonkun. Oh, missing those shots because they could have had, what, 6 points now from 3 phases of play that have just produced nothing. It's the story of their game.
Yeah, these empty possessions are not fantastic as far as SLAC are concerned, and then the foul given up, and Sankon commits it, and that's going to send them. That's going to be their 4th team foul.
Yeah, Mbemba Sankon is the player who's well, he's just been picked out for that foul. There's Majok. Oh, he's going over the top, and he's unable to do anything with that. Good chance for a little bit of a quick transition. Majok's coming back very quickly. There's a ball that's gone down into the paint. Can he find a little bit of space and produce the goods? Very complicated there for Ziakor. Does get fouled.
They lock in and double team up quite quickly to take away any thoughts of a shot. They do draw the foul. Well, he does draw the foul, and now it's a sideline out of bounds play. Ziakor has tried hard. He's 11 points on the day. And just so much balance on the other side. 4 players in double figures, and Diabate just 1 away from becoming the 5th. He's got 9. Marnawi 13, Majok 12, Leyani 13, Slimani 12, and that's a great day out as far as the team basketball performance is concerned.
Yeah, it's distributed right across the board, which means it's a team effort. It's not a standout performance from 1 individual or 2 individuals, and that makes for some good reading as well. And look at the look at the local players who actually stood out from the crowd, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a good chance to try and get some points. It goes over the top there, but it's a little bit wild there from Keita. Picked up by Sliman. Three Tunisian players with in double figures, 1 of the non-Tunisian but African players with the fourth. That's a statement in itself.
Sure is.
Long-range shot there. Oh, is the rebound not good enough, but they do pick possession up. Slimane picks the ball up here. Can he get another few points? It's just come off the rim. And we're into the last 2 minutes here for this opening clash of match day 2 between SLAC and Monastir.
Our first look at the NBA Academy player for US Monastir, Charles Onana Awana, who's back, who's in. He had a DNP, it did not play in the first encounter, and now here getting a chance in the final 145. Out of Yaoundé in Cameroon. And now both the coaches are bringing the changes as they go deeper and deeper into the bench. I think that's a sign that the coaches have turned it in for the day.
Yeah, Diomba Mada's come on just to replace Miller Jr. Into the hands of Ziakor. Ziakor up against Slimane. That's nicely done. And that's a foul on by Slimane. And is it the fourth foul for the 41-year-old? I believe so.
It's been a tough cover for him, and that matchup is nice. I think it's odds even as far as in Ziakor versus Slimane, 11 points and 12 points apiece. Ziakor with 2 personal fouls. Slimane has been limited, has been used quite limitedly on the day. It hasn't needed to be on the floor.
Slimane picks the ball up. And a chance to take it forward, comes out wide. Slimane dropped into the middle, and a foul has been committed. Off the rim. Yeah, it's
Wasef Medani also getting his first bit of time. He also had did not play in their first encounter. He played for the Fairfield Stags in the NCAA. So deep quality on this US Monastir bench.
Well, they're good all round, of course. And when you see Crawford, who's not with them, you know, but they've got backup, haven't they? They've kind of strengthened their squad, but not too much. You know, in different ways. They've kind of intelligently brought in a couple of Tunisian players. You know, I think Abassi's been brought in, Tunisian international. Oops. A little bit of a fumble, but look at the teammates come over, and, you know, it's not, don't worry about it.
The coach maybe not so impressed on that one.
He does, you know, it's okay. He's got nothing more to do. His job's been done. The boys have done well, and they're in a pretty good place. Good opportunity. Is SLAC trying to still get themselves the shot in. That's nicely done. Good rebound there coming in from Mohamed Lamine Keita. And just the 18 years of age, NBA Academy player, of course.
He's got a long frame, stands at 208, and attends Winchendon School.
Slimane, look at that, a beautiful three-pointer there. And he's the man because, look, he's just extended his tally to 15, moves into the outright lead along with Crawford for SLAC. And the attempt to try and drop that in from distance comes to nothing for Mara. Good feisty play to win the ball back. Slimane for 3. Back off the backboard, comes to nothing. And that's it, it's a done deal. And they've comfortably done the business, US Monastir. You can look at the face, Modric Perisic. Of course, they're both Serbians. There's a nice little hug there with his opposite number, Zajko Zetrovic. Couldn't do much about that. US Monastir, the stronger team on the day. They make it 2 out of 2. SLAC 55,
Visit
US Monastir
NBA.com for
76.
tickets and more information.
And really, it was all that second quarter where they held SLAC to 5 points, and very difficult to come back after an offensive showing like that. Second half, they played relatively even. Monastir edging SLAC by 2 points. A balanced performance. Maranoi 13, Majok 12, Leyani 13 points, Slimane with 15. On the other end, Crawford with 15 points, and Obekpa chipped in with 13 of his own. On the day, it was US Monastir, the better performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Usher, we expected US Monastir to produce the goods. They really did today, didn't they?
Yes, they absolutely did a great job. They'll be proud of that victory. 21 points is a big statement for, you know, last year's finalists. And I think they're feeling the tournament now. They're in good rhythm. They'll be looking to rest for the next 2 days and then see what happens in the third game.
Okay, Usher, fire away. I think you've caught up with Firas Layani.
Yes, Firas obviously is, he had a great game today, 15 points. Firas, Mabruk, congratulations, 2 games, 2 wins. What does that mean for US Monastir?
It's a good start to start the competition with two wins. We look now for the third and the fourth and the 5th win to complete that qualification with the full mark. We have a good team. We try our best, and we try to be the first place to be more easy in Kigali.
And what was special for you today as a team?
Chemistry in the team was good. We watched our opponent how they play, how their weakness, and we win easy.
When you look at the performance in the paint, especially, how big was that for US Monastir?
Yeah, for sure. With Majok and with other guys, the 4 and 5 position, we dominate the other team, and we had good action.
You talk about finishing #1 and going to Kigali. You were in Kigali last year. You finished in the final, but you weren't able to win the trophy. What is the mood like right now in the camp?
We are focused more than last year, for sure. We are 100 focused. We try to not do our fault in the last edition. So we had time to figure out how to complete and win the title this year.
You have 2 days of resting before you take on AS Saleh of Morocco on Friday. What are your expectations for this game?
It will be a easy game. The Saleh have good team. 2 days, enough time to watch their play, to watch their weakness, and I think we can deal with them.
Thank you very much, Firas Layani. Now back to you, Roby.
Thanks very much, Usher. Yeah, the important words, I think, within what he said, Firas Layani, was chemistry, observation skills. They did their homework. They get on well, they work well, they understand each other, and basically they're able to play again. And you can see this from what we can see up on the scoreboard here.
Absolutely. And when you look at chemistry says 15, 13, 13, 12, and 1 player short of 9, Diabate with his 9. And the field goal percentage will also please, I think, the US Monastir coach, as you can hear from what Layani was saying, that they are very happy with where their chemistry is. It's an improved performance and something that they can definitely take into their 2 days of rest.
Right, this is now what's happening here before we wrap it up. Of course, these are female basketball players. It's International Women's Day today, of course. So, you know, congratulations to all the women and young girls out there, because it's important to make sure that they know that it's all about equality in every single way. Great basketball future players there, I tell you that in a big way. Look at the stats, Q.
32% for SLAC from the field, and that is where they really struggled. Their ball distribution today, their ability to share the basketball in the team, limited by some really great US Monastir defense. 23-7, that disparity in the assist column, and it reflected again from the three-point line. 3 of 18 against a 9 of 28 from US Monastir. A good outing defensively. There are still things that can be tightened up by both teams, and it's back to the drawing board for both because it's a clean slate and they get an opportunity to go at it again in the next game.
Two wins from 2 for US Monastir. Congratulations to them. SLAC will be back, and the next game coming up, of course, will be that big one between Dakar University Club, the home team, up against Ferroviario de Beira of Mozambique in just over an hour and a half's time. Come back and join us, please do. We're loving it. Congratulations. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.